Hello, today I want to show you what is the worksheet method in Christian Light Education's reading program. If you've looked at second and third grade reading for CLE, you may notice you can choose between the light unit and the worksheet method. According to CLE, the worksheets that I have here are designed for classroom schools and require teacher involvement, and the light unit method, which I don't have in front of me, is preferable for homeschools. We decided to go with the worksheet method in our homeschool. So I'd like to give you a peek into this less common method. There are essentially three main differences between the worksheet method and the light unit method that I'll outline in this video, and I'll also show you a flowchart to help you decide which method to use. First, I'd like to mention that I was initially against using a reading program in our homeschool. I wanted my children to read classic books that have withstood the test of time, not readers. I also wanted them to love reading and not turn it into a chore. When I eventually bought this reader, I was surprised by how engaging and well-written these stories are. My kids love the stories, and they build character and teach biblical values. But what really changed my mind was the scope and sequence for CLE reading, which you can get on their website. I saw what we would be missing if we didn't do a formal reading program. Some of these things are figurative language and poetry, scanning for information, probable and improbable, alliteration, analogies, onomatopoeia, and much more. So this is more than reading comprehension, and I wouldn't be able to teach these skills competently on my own. But now onto the worksheets method. I told you there are three main differences between the worksheet and the light unit methods. They are, and I have my points here. The worksheet method has less lessons and less pages per lesson than the light unit method. The worksheet method does not have the full lessons in the student book, though it does have instructions and definitions, and the worksheet method does not have a We Remember review section, and nor does it have tests and quizzes. They're a separate purchase. So let's look at the worksheets. We're going to look at the number of lessons. There are 60 stories in the reader, and the worksheets have 60 lessons, excluding tests and quizzes. So there are 30 lessons in the first workbook, and there are 30 lessons in the second workbook. So here we have, at the very end, you're at the 60th lesson. That's one lesson per story. So the light unit method not shown here has 160 lessons, including tests and quizzes spread out over 10 light units. That's 2 lessons per story. So the key difference is this. If you use the worksheet method, your child will cover a story in 1 lesson, but with the light unit method, your child will cover a story over 2 lessons. Now let's talk about the number of pages per lesson. The worksheets have 2 pages of work, the front and back of a single page, but the light units have 3 pages because there's more instruction and review. Essentially, if you look at this by the amount of work per story, your child will have 2 pages of work per story for the worksheets method, but about 6 pages of work per story with the light units method. There are only 2 workbooks of worksheets, but 10 workbooks in the light units. CLE doesn't switch to 5 light units for reading until 4th grade. The second difference I noted is the worksheet method does not have scripted lessons for the student like the light units. If you use the worksheet method, you will need to teach from the teacher manual. You won't be able to just hand the workbook to your child. There are clear directions in the student worksheets, and the study words and other main concepts are defined in the worksheets, but they don't contain the full lessons like in the light units. But once you've taught the lesson from the teacher manual, your child will be able to complete the worksheet independently. And the third difference is that in the worksheets, there's no We Remember review section. You have to assess for yourself what your child might need reviewing. If you use the tests and quizzes, this could help you see how much your child is retaining. They're a separate purchase with the CLE worksheets, but they're included in the light units. You would get 20 quizzes, 10 test reviews and 10 tests. They do come bound, but I just pull them apart. So how do you decide? First, we need to pray for wisdom. Seek God's wisdom. The Bible says that if any of us lack wisdom, that we should ask God, who gives it generously to all, and he will give it if we ask. That's in James 1:5, and I need to work on this myself. Some other things to ask yourself are, am I new to CLE? Does my child need continual review? Do I need independence? If in these situations, the light unit method will be best. And then you can also ask yourself, do I want a condensed program so we don't have to do reading as a daily subject? Does my child tire of writing, or do I just want to have less writing, maybe to do more of writing in other subjects? Am I willing to do a lot of the teaching orally? If this is your family, the worksheets method might work better for you. So I hope this has helped make things a little clearer. I apologize I don't have the light units to show you to compare, but there are samples on the CLE website and videos from others on YouTube that can give you a look inside the light units. Let me know if something wasn't clear to you or if you have any questions. Have a blessed day.